heard Alabama argue yesterday was, gee whiz, we know we have been disgusting, pathetic, racist. We know that we have we've burned up schools because of integration issues. We've blown up churches with children inside them. We've hanged people who wanted to get the right to vote. We know we've sicked our dogs on them. We know we've turned our hoses on them. We know in Alabama that we've used live ammunition to shoot people in the streets when they were out demonstrating for the right to vote. We know all that, but today we're different. And what the rest of the sentence really is, Tom, is he should have added this. We also know that 240 times since this act came onto the books, 240 times Alabama has had to be slapped down because they simply can't get it through their head that the damn Civil War is over and African Americans in this country and minorities have the right to vote. Now, that was the rest of the sentence that this bumpkin that they sent from Alabama to make this argument didn't complete. The interesting thing is Scalia connected with the bumpkin. Kennedy connected with the bumpkin. Roberts connected with the bumpkin. Roberts was there suggesting, you know, gee whiz, isn't this all over? You would have thought Roberts took the very words you just read, Tom, turned them into modern verbiage and recited them in front of that courtroom.
Yeah, it really is quite remarkable. And it also highlights how the Supreme Court, how we have largely ceased to be a democracy, small d democracy, where the elected representatives of the people make the laws and the elected president, the executive branch, enforce the laws, put them into play. And instead, we've become a constitutional monarchy. We have 9 men and women in black robes in the Supreme Court building who decide, you know, basically our laws, and not just decide, you know, the constitutionality of our laws. Under that cloak, they're quite literally making law. I mean, I realize I'm sounding like Phyllis Schlafly in 1974, but that's what's going on.
Well, it is. Listen, the Supreme Court has the lowest approval rating it has had since its inception right now. Most of that is because you have Scalia out on the speaking circuit. And every time he appears in public and makes another ridiculously absurd, almost ignorant statement about about the state of politics and the state of the law, the public says, oh my God. And that we saw what they did with Citizens United. They even had higher approval rating during that period. It continues to drop. Roberts thought he could resurrect the approval rating of this court by allowing the health care reform to take place, but it hasn't helped because this is a Supreme Court right now, a majority of 5. Kennedy, Alito, Roberts, Thomas, and Scalia have branded this court as being exactly what you just described, and that is a judicial monarchy who realizes they're in there for life. They're going to ignore the president. They're going to ignore Congress. They're going to ignore the will of the people and simply write the opinion, not based on precedent, Tom, not based on stare decisis, not based on years and years, decades of the rule of law. They simply are going to make a decision according to their whim. And that's what we're going to see them do on this act. I don't expect any surprises from this Supreme Court. It's always very disappointing to me when I hear a talking head on television try to make rational sense of what this Supreme Court does. It's all political. These are political hacks. This majority is a bunch of political hacks dressed up in black robes. There's no other way to describe the state of this court.
I would absolutely agree.